What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of My Player. This is episode number 5 and we're starting today's episode here with a Capital One Cup clash against Southend United on Wednesday night. Now, coming into this game was a bit of a surprise for us because, quite frankly, I didn't feel like I needed to start the game. Sean Dyche rested a lot of players for this game against lower league opposition at home in the Capital One Cup, unsurprisingly, but he did decide to start me in the attacking midfield position, and I didn't really feel like I would need to. That's no disrespect to Southend United, but it's mainly because there were so many changes made to the team. I thought Sean Dyche would probably give me a rest as well, as I am technically just returning from injury, as I've only played one game since I came back, and of course that was the last one on the weekend against Sunderland. But Dyche did decide to start me, and the game was a very, very poor one. Nothing really happened in it at all until the 70th minute, when Southend went down the right hand side. Their cross into the box was cleared and they pushed way too many bodies forward. We had a counter attack and we went up and scored it as well. So really, really poor defending, to be honest. I don't really know why they pushed so many bodies forward going for the goal. Instead, we were the ones that got the goal. Tom Anderson scoring, he had a clear path to the goal and he did put the ball into the back of the net. So Burnley 1, Southend 0, and in the 82nd minute a great chance to make it 2-0 and seal the game. Lafferty found his man Ashley Barnes, Barnes found me, I give it back to Ashley Barnes down his left hand side, who crosses the ball in, picks me out, and I make it 2 goals in 2 games. So in the end I was disappointed to lose a lot of stamina and get quite fatigued in this game. You know, it may be a Capital One Cup game, we may be playing lower league opposition, but I'm not going to be slacking off. I'm still going to put in maximum effort all game, running around, right trigger abusing. That's what I was doing in this game, and in the end I guess it paid off in the end. It paid off in the end, so I got my first headed goal of the series. Nice cross by Barnes into me. You'd think it'd be the other way around really, and a good header. It was a free header, yes, I was only about 12 yards out, but even so they all count, they all look nice, and I did get my first headed goal. So Burnley 2, Southend 0 was the final score. I got myself a nice 8.1 rating for that. My passing in that game was actually pretty poor, to be honest. I gave the ball away quite a lot, but even so I felt like we deserved the win, to be honest. You can see by the match stats, Southend didn't have a single one in the entire game, and it was such a poor game up until the 70th minute really. But we did come through with a win. We are through to the next round of Capital One Cup, and yeah, to be honest, it's okay. I mean, I'm not really going to be too fussed about the Capital One Cup this year with Burnley. I'm hoping that we'll be able to stay in the Premier League and try and cause a shock to quite a few teams in the Premier League, get some good wins and some good David v Goliath stuff. We've already had one against Manchester United, but even so, a good cup run could be nice, and that's why I was very pleased to get the win. And in the end, even though I was kind of disappointed to know I wouldn't get a rest for the game, because I was going to be a little bit tired for this one against West Bromwich Albion, I got a goal, and therefore you got to look at the positives. Still, we did indeed take on West Bromwich Albion for the second game of today's episode here, travelling to the Hawthorns, of course the side I started my career mode at. And is that Ben Foster wearing a home kit on the bench? Yes it is. Nice work, EA, nice work. Still, we do take on West Bromwich Albion for the second game, and the first chance wouldn't fall until the stroke of the half-time mark here, as West Brom went down the right-hand side with Chris Brunn. He crossed the ball in, and Graham Dorrange's header went over the bar and behind for a goal kick. So I really didn't do anything in the first half. I barely had the ball at my feet, to be honest. I was feeling a little bit underused, I guess, and in the 57th minute, West Brom almost scored, but Brown Aday's shot went wide and behind for a goal kick. So still 0-0 in this game. As you can see, another good chance West Bromwich Albion here. Matt Gilks having to make a good save in the 68th minute and keep it goalless. And in the 87th minute, one of the very few chances came to us here, as we really weren't in the game at all. As I went down the right hand side, rode the challenge of Pocognoli, then took the ball round Nedum Manuha, kept on going, then rode his slide challenge, did a double step over around Jolyon Lescott. What a goal this could have been, but sadly for us, I'm denied my third goal in 3 games by a very good save by Bowles Myhill. So final score was a 0-0 draw. A very, very poor game. Disappointing not to score in that game. That would have been 3-3 for me, but sadly not. But still, a 0-0 draw is not too bad. I didn't play too well, in all honesty. My teammates were pretty poor as well. In the end, I think a goalless draw was probably the right result, despite West Bromwich Albion having more of the shots. As you can see, quite a few did come from outside the area, and a lot of them were just headed and deflected attempts on target. Still, final score 0-0, and following that, I checked the sponsorship requirements for penalty, and as you can see, we have now matched the 2 objectives we needed to start wearing their boots. We are 70 plus rated, and of course that game against West Bromwich Albion was my 5th in the Premier League, which means finally we can start wearing some sponsored boots and we don't have to wear those EA generics. So I put some penalty boots on. We're sponsored by them for the time being, and that's fantastic. So my first sponsorship has been achieved, and it is penalty. It was always going to happen very soon. You know, those 2 objectives were really, really basic. 70 plus rated, which we already were at the start of the series, and only 5 Premier League games, but it's still nice to know we've hit them relatively early on, and we will start wearing their boots from this moment on. Still following that, I look at the league table. You also saw my basic fantastic attributes there, and also my accomplishments too. As you can see, a relatively decent start. 2 wins, 3 draws, and only 1 defeat so far as we sit in 7th place. Obviously, there's a long way to go in the Barclays Premier League season, but I have to say, that's a pretty impressive start with Burnley. We've already scored a couple of goals, and we've got an assist as well. So a very impressive start by the team, and also by me as an individual. And it's good to know that early injury setback hasn't really, stunted my growth or stunted my ability. I seem to be better because of the injury. It seems like I've come back a better player. Still, we'll have to wait and see how we're going to shape up for the rest of the season. All I know is I'm very impressed with the start, and if things continue like this, I'll be very glad we chose Burnley, and very pleased we chose to play as an attacking midfielder. Still, we take on Leicester City for the third and final game of today's episode, travelling to the King Power Stadium as the top 2 teams in the Championship last season match up for their first Premier League meeting. Yeah, that's my ball. Oh, Cambiasso, sit down. Esteban Cambiasso, putting him on the floor. Can we get the ball in the box here? Arfield, I'm right here. Turn. I'm going to shoot for a tight angle, and that's actually going to go very... Wow. Okay. Shall I crop that out of the video? Nope, you guys are going to see how bad that shot was. This is why I passed the ball more than shoot. Wow. That was terrible. This has been a really poor first half. The only real attempt came from me, and the shot went out for a throw-in, so that kind of says it all really, doesn't it? But Leicester are going to come through, and they're actually going to score the first goal of the game as well. Jamie Vardy gives Leicester the lead, and I think that's my fault as well, because I was trying to track the 1-2, and in the end I left him. It's probably not my fault really, because I shouldn't be back there doing the defending. But even so, Vardy dives in and makes it 1-0 to Leicester. To be honest, it's been a terrible game. Nothing really to report. But unfortunately for us, the 1 goal that gets scored goes to the home side. Leicester 1, Burnley 0 in a clash of the top 2 from last year's Championship. Jamie Vardy gets the goal. Barnes, Marnie, keep hold of the ball. I'm on the edge. Oh, it's played back to me. Oh, what a fantastic goal that is. That is absolutely fantastic. Oh, that is a superb goal. Come celebrate with me, team. Why are my teammates not celebrating with me? That is a fantastic goal. What a back heel. I tracked back because I didn't want to get involved in the play and just give the ball away, because I thought I would be a bit too hasty just going forward and trying to charge it down. But with my first game with the new boots, I get a goal as well. What a finish past the veteran goalkeeper Mark Schwarzer. Lovely team goal. And it is Leicester 1, Burnley 1. Very pleased to get my second goal in the Premier League with the new boots on. Leicester 1, Burnley 1. Mahrez, Huth, inside Vardy, Cambiasso, jilks with a save, and it's still even. Kylie almost dribbling out of play, but he doesn't. We're on the ball, chip it through, wonderful build up. Oh, Schwarzer with the save, and Leicester get it away. What a wonderful goal that would have been, but Schwarzer with the save, and the Aussie keeps it at 1-1. That's a nice ball inside. This could be 2-1. Great save by Matt Jilks. Oh, Anthony knockout. He's put him round. In goes the ball. Vardy shot, save, parry, but a rebound is turned in the centre by Andy King. And Leicester lead with under 50 minutes on the clock. Oh man, Jilks making the good save, but King turning in the rebound, and it's really frustrating, but you got to say, we've had chances, so have Leicester. It's been a balanced game, but I could see the game going to one team eventually. I couldn't see it ending as a draw, and it looks as though it's going to be the home side. Andy King turning in the rebound and making it Leicester 2, Burnley 1. Come on, last chance now. Right here, let's go. No backwards passes. We need to get the ball in the box. Don't want to lump it in there though. Come on, free ball into Boyd. George Boyd. No, don't play it backwards because the referee will blow full time against me. Oh, I'm round him. It's a ref. It's a dirty challenge. That's a free kick just outside the area. I thought it was going to be a penalty. Not sure who that was actually. It might have been, yeah, Mark Albrighton. Oh dear. Free kick. Oh, it's a red card. Dear oh dear. Was that really a red card? Mark Albrighton sent off for that challenge on me. That's my first victim. Getting my first opponent player sent off. Not too sure that should be a red card. Look pretty nice with the new boots, but even so, red card to Albrighton, and the final chance of the game is going to come from this free kick. It's going to be Kieran Trippier to swing it in. I'm at the far post. There's a couple of big boys in the centre. Where's the wall? Oh, the wall's coming forward, getting a booking. Who is Trippier going to try and pick out? Where should I go? Should I try and move inside? Should I try and stay at the far post for any flick backs? What should I do here? In it goes. Trippier with the ball towards the far post. Flick backwards. Okay, well, we've regained possession. It's not really what I wanted to see us do. Trippier, cross it in, mate. No, don't go to the corner flag. Cross the ball in. Boyd, straight at Cambiasso. Still a chance. Martin, I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm right here. And in it goes. Shot taken. Blocked. Away. Still a chance. Keane, no. Final whistle. 2-1. And that is how the game will finish. So a 2-1 defeat. And that is really frustrating. I wish Trippier would have put the ball into the box there on the right-hand side. Probably my fault for not calling for it. I just never like to do that. Still, a 2-1 defeat. And, yeah, very, very frustrating indeed. I was glad to score again. But, honestly, I feel as though we had enough chances in that game to have gotten more out of that. I got a 7.0 rating, which I think could have been a little bit higher. But we'll take a 7.0 rating, that's not too bad. But yeah, we had 6 shots in that game, more than Leicester had. Even possession, I personally feel as though we should have done better in that game and should have at least got a point. Unfortunately, though, that is football, and we have to settle for a 2-1 defeat. So our second defeat in the Premier League season, losing away at Leicester. Not very good at all. We're just going to have to regroup, though, and the next game will be against West Ham United. So hopefully we'll be able to regroup for the following game. And it was frustrating, and it was very, very frustrating indeed, but not good enough, unfortunately. And hopefully in the next game we will regroup and be able to get past West Ham. So thanks very much for watching the episode. Thanks very much for watching the episode of My Player. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll see you for the next episode of My Player very soon.